Hey guys, what's up? Insurance agent, if you're watching this, you do not want to scroll past it. Stop and listen. We're going to give you the 6 biggest mistakes you're making as an insurance agent. Gary, most of you guys know, is a master expert recruiter. A lot of you have probably already hired him to help staff your agency. Gary, let's bring these people some value, man. What do you think?
I think there's a lot going on today, and there's a lot of value that we're going to bring our agents today. And I know we're talking about the 6 biggest mistakes agents make. And the first biggest mistake I see agents making is they think they can recruit on their own. Okay. And I mean, are they smart enough to do it? Absolutely. Do they got enough whereabouts to do it? Absolutely. But your average agent, what they're doing is when they actually finally find the time, either they're going to take the time away from their job, their office, or they're going to take time away from their family. It's one of those two things. And that's when they're going to take the time to look for the resumes, call the people up. And most agents that I reach out to, they're not getting a good return on their investment of their time.
Well, what about that $50 ZipRecruiter coupon I got in the mail, man? That thing doesn't work?
Well, it's a good start, but what's a $50 ZipRecruiter ad going to do when you need 3 or 4 people right now?
Yeah.
Right?
And what about you guys do sales and admin, right? You can hire for both positions, or
sales, service, admin, management, anything insurance related. That's all we do is recruit for insurance companies.
Okay, love that. So the number one mistake they're making is they try to do it themselves, right? And that's true, right? They should be focusing on their money-making activities. That's where they make their dollars. You hire out everything else, right?
Well, absolutely, brother. I mean, hey, I just had my bathroom redone. I mean, I could have done it myself in 6 months and taken 3 months off of work, or I could pay somebody else, in the thousands to do it while I'm making more than that here at work. I mean, where is your time best spent?
Exactly, man. No, that's a good one. Good one. So, thinking they can do it alone. All right. My first one on the marketing side. So Gary, he's going to give you the 3 recruiting mistakes he thinks you guys make. I'm going to give you 3 marketing/advertising mistakes you guys make. And I'm going to tie straight into that, thinking they can do it on their own. But the other side of it for me is that they're stuck in the old school way, right? Is that they're only doing like traditional media. And listen, at one point in time, cave paintings were a great way to communicate, but we've developed, right? We have these things called mobile devices now. And so for me, what I see is a big mistake is they say, well, I sponsor the Little League team, or I run the ad in the newspaper, which they may be doing that for recruiting too. But you have to get digital, and mainly on the social media platform. So them not taking it serious and living in the old school way would be mistake number 1. Gary, kick it back to you. What's number 2 on the recruiting side?
Well, I'm going to pivot off your mistake number 1, and it's basically being stuck in the past mindset, right? Well, this is what I used to do, right? But a lot of agents, when they talk about what they used to do for recruiting, or how it used to be, or how it should be, they're not staying present with what is, right? And what we talked about just earlier was the sign of a good business owner is learning when to pivot when the need arises, right? And so in today's current job market, things are different. Okay. The candidates are more savvy. They're expecting more. I'm not judging them whether it's right or wrong. Right. But if you're not keeping up with today's trends, if you're not pivoting, right, and changing it up. So when I say this is pivot, if you're still doing the things you used to do and you're not finding the people the way you used to, the definition of insanity is keep on trying and expecting the same result, right?
Doing the same thing over and over again.
Today's current market, it demands a non-classic way of recruiting, right? And that's what we do.
Right, because you guys actually call the people, right? Like a lot of people, they just want to like get a bunch of resumes, they want to send emails, and then you set up some interviews, some in-office interviews, and then you do that for 1 day out of the entire quarter, and then you got 9 people booked that replied to your emails, and then only 3 people showed up, and then the agent gets aggravated because nobody showed up to the interviews, and they're like, well, I'm done recruiting now, and then it's over, right? Like, but you guys actually get on the phone with these people, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, again, it's back to the agent thinks they can do it on their own. Well, if you want to take time away from your business or your home life to sit there and call, the candidates you have, but most agents don't even have enough candidates to call. They might get 12 to 15 resumes a month, right? And then maybe they see 5 are even worth calling, but at the end of the day, they end up calling everybody because no one's picking up.
Yeah.
And a lot of agents report back to me that no one's showing up to the interviews. So something has to change. Something has to be different in order to evoke a different result.
I love it, man. I love it. Awesome. All right. Well, my second one is the fact that a lot of insurance agents still think that social media isn't work. It is part of work. It's a huge misconception. It's one of the easiest and fastest ways to build a brand. The other great thing that we see a lot of times is that once you start treating it as work, now you take it serious. Now your whole team gets involved, and it lightens the load on the agent. Back to your point of they try to do everything themselves, and it's not smart to do that. Any personal development book you read will talk about maximizing your time and hiring out your inefficiencies. For us, what we see is that social media isn't looked at as work, so to speak. But the great thing with social media is you actually open up 2 new communication streams, right? Because you got the phone, you got the text message. People can send you a letter on a carrier pigeon or through the US mail, which is about the same speed, or they can send you an email. They can go to your website and fill out a form. But when you get on social media, get active there, now they can send you a Facebook message or Instagram DM or a LinkedIn message. You're opening up these new communication channels. And I was actually at a seminar, Gary, a few months ago. I guess it's been longer right now, about a year ago. And Kevin O'Leary told me that, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, he told me that, he told me that the social media is now like a utility. He looks at social media in his company like a utility, just like you wouldn't open a business and not have a phone line. He's like, you're never going to be able to open a business in the future and not have social media outlets, not have the ability to communicate with your people on social. So if that's one big adjustment there, my second tip is that you guys have, as an insurance agent, you're watching this right now, if you're still hanging out with us, you have to be sure that you look at this at work. And if you got to run before you scroll past this, we got the third one coming up, but down below in the comments, Gary and I have each left a comment with our scheduling link. If you want to book a call with either myself or Gary and his team or my team, you can click that link and check it out. But Gary, let's not keep the people waiting. What's your third biggest mistake that you see that these agents make?
There is no magic bullet, right? If I feel so bad, I'm agents that they're coming up to me when it's too late. They have to open their new scratch agency in 3 weeks, and they need 4 people licensed and hired and ready to go. It's just, it's not going to happen, right? We can't be your savior, right? If your business is struggling already, right? We can't be the only thing to fix it, right? You're still going to have problems afterwards. And what I tell everybody is, even after we've brought you these people and you've made your hires, always be hiring. The sign of a good agent is they're always looking for people. They're always looking for fresh talent. But wait, I don't have a need. Man, you don't know when your top producer is going to call you and say, hey, my mom got sick. I got to fly to Florida for the next month. Or, hey, I got offered another job and I'm going to leave you. You never know. You never know.
People don't, they'll always put in their 2 weeks. They don't necessarily give you their 6 months when they start looking, right? I think that's a big thing with that all. And you said something before we hopped on and went live here that what'd you say?
ABH, baby. Always be hiring.
Always be hiring. I love that. That's a play off the Glenn Ross movie, right? Always be closing.
Always be closing.
That's so true, man, is that you always have to be looking for that next hire, that next recruit, because we're the same way, right? With our social media ads. People think oh my gosh, I'm below the cut of where I need to be at on my scorecard. And okay, I'll just call DJ and then I'll have 100 new leads in the next month. And it's building a brand doesn't work like that. Just you can't just instantly hire a bunch of people. And everybody's heard that old saying, hire slow and fire fast, right? It's you guys need to give Gary time to work his magic. You don't want him rushing through his process and giving you lackluster prospects. So it's not a magic bullet, and you always have to be hiring. Gary, in case someone's kind of wondering right now, what is that typical timeline for you guys? What's that look like?
Well, it all depends, because we are exclusive with our agents in the area we're in. So as an example, if we're in Atlanta, I'm not working with any other Atlanta people. So I gotta get you in afterwards, right?
Okay.
Across the board, we're typically 3 or 4 weeks out. When I say 3 or 4 weeks out, in other words, you call me, I'll put people in front of you in about 3 weeks or so on average.
Okay.
Right. Unless I'm already in your area, then I'll just have to wait until I'm done with someone, put you in behind them. I never have my agents share candidates. You're not going to compete with each other for the same people I'm bringing. It's bad business.
Yeah, man. It sounds like you're a guy with integrity, because it's funny, the eerie similarities, because we know a lot of advertising companies that will sell the same lead over and over and over again, and then like their sales team's like, hey, these leads are junk. It's like, what do you mean? It's like, well, he said he was just trying to get 3 more lives in Candy Crush. He didn't really want an insurance quote. It's just like, you get what you pay for, man. And that's why it's important for agents to do business with people that truly understand their business, right? Like not just some run-of-the-mill shop. So that's cool, man. So to go back through your 3, their inability to pivot, they think they can do it alone, and then the lack of always be hiring, ABH. I love that. My last one, which is probably the biggest one, the biggest misconception, is agents don't understand the difference between organic and paid. They think, and I've talked to some agents, they've got like 1,000 people that follow them, which is a pretty big following. Let's face it, insurance isn't the most interesting thing in the world. So they got like 1,000 people following their social media pages, and they're posting great organic content, but they're not getting any traction. And the reason is because the way the algorithms are structured, they're only showing that organic content, meaning like if I pulled up my phone right now and I just made a post, they're only going to show that to a certain number of people. For instance, this ad, you guys can go to the Carroll Media page or go over to Gary's page, and you'll see it like organically. We're only going to be able to reach a couple hundred people that way, but we're paying the platform to now show it, and it's turned into an ad. Now we can show it thousands and thousands of times. That's a big misconception that agents, I think, don't truly understand the difference between paid versus organic. It's a pay-to-play platform now. You have to be doing both. You don't want to run paid ads, and then when someone shows up to your page, it's crickets and nothing's going on. But on the opposite side, you don't want to be doing a ton of engaging content, but then not doing any paid ads to show to the people that don't follow you already. So I love it, man. That was some fire. I think if you guys haven't done so already, click the link down below. Schedule a call with either myself and my team or Gary and his team. We'd love to help you. Gary, how can they find you? I know you're tagged here and stuff, but I know we'll leave the comment down below, so maybe we don't even need to tell them how to find us, but just tell them to go click the link, right?
Well, click the link below, right? Name of the company's Top 2 Recruiting and Consulting. And if you want to just call me on my phone, it's 406 recruit.
Love
Easy, simple. 406 recruit.
406 recruit. We don't have anything crazy cool like that. I got to step my game up on the phone number game, but yeah, just click the link down below, guys. Super intuitive scheduling software. Thanks so much for hanging out. Leave us a comment down below. Let us know if there's something that we missed. If, as an agent, if there's something you really messed up or something you want to share. I mean, thousands of people are going to see this. So if there's something you can pour back into the industry and help them out, I know Gary, you and I both, we work with captive agents. We work with independent agents, anybody that's in the insurance world. We can help you. So click the link down below. We'll see you guys real soon. Take care.